funny, man. Katie's mom does my haircuts. She used to she was a hairstylist back in the day. And so
Okay.
today she's like, "You're going back to Folsom. You need to cut your hair. It looks horrible." Like, okay. So we were in the garage and Sawyer is racing monster trucks down the driveway, and
As you should.
I'm in the garage, and Judy's cutting my hair. Actually made me think of Florida, because I feel like I've been to Florida and people hang out in their garages a lot and smoke cigarettes.
Sometimes they do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's more South Florida. I live in Northeast Florida, so we're all, I don't know, sort of like feels like South Georgia a little bit, uh, but still in Florida. So the less, but there is, when I drive through my neighborhood, there are some people that have like couches, like, and their garage doors open. But I see the couches, but I never see people
Hmm.
in the garage. It's weird. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe it's just the wrong time of day. Maybe they just go at that 1 hour time to smoke their cigarette, and then you're
Yeah,
not
that's
coming
just
by at that time.
right. It's like the whole, how do you know you're living in a simulation? It's like, have you ever seen your neighbor unload groceries? Like, that's the thing. It's like, I'm sure they do, but I've never seen my neighbors unload their groceries. I've seen us unload our groceries, but hey.
Dude, that makes me laugh a little bit too, because our neighbor, I don't think he listens to this podcast.
Oh, you should.
But he should now. I won't name his name, but it's funny because I've never met his wife.
Oh,
Ever.
wow.
Never, ever. And we've been next to them for 3 years, and her car is always parked in the same place. I don't even know if she leaves. And so I was teasing
Wow.
Katie. I was like, if there's a serial killer on the block, it might be this guy, or maybe he got rid of his wife and nobody knows it, because I have never seen her ever.
Well, it's because look at that new haircut. Like, I mean, would you trust your wife around that haircut? No, you wouldn't. So that's it.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Mindful Dude Show on Play Hard and Love Big Radio. If you want to find this show, just check out Play Hard and Love Big Radio on all the major podcasting platforms, including YouTube, or head to spotteddogyoga.com, click on podcast, and you can go down and find all the episodes of Dan Nevins and I, the Mindful Dudes, getting after it on this show. I'm so glad to be here again with you, Dan. I was thinking, you messaged me this morning and I appreciate it. You said, "Hey man, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. You sure you want to reschedule and do it today as opposed to tomorrow?"
Mhm.
And what came up for me is that in life, you got to really focus on doing the things and make a difference for you. And this show makes a difference for me. Me having an hour just to be with you makes a difference for me. And I think in life, a lot of times we put things off to the side because we get busy or whatever, those things that are important. But it's really vital for people's health to pay attention to those people and those things that really make a difference for them. What do you say about that?
I absolutely agree. I was actually thinking about, like, what should we talk about today? And it's funny, just for the people listening, watching, we don't rehearse. Hey, we're going to talk about this today. We just show up and have a conversation. And what I was thinking about this morning as I was drinking my coffee, this is empty now, by the way. But
That's good.
yeah, right. It is good. I was so proud of having a daily meditation practice. Like, it was like my thing. And after health issues and a lot of stuff, I still have a meditation practice, but it's nowhere near the vigor that I used to have around it. And I feel disappointed in myself sometimes talking about things that make a difference. And then I sort of reminded myself, and this is going to sound so lame, but Kaylin and I switched to, instead of using a coffee pot, we started doing a Chemex pour over, because that in itself, in making coffee in that way, is a very mindful based sort of meditative activity if you allow it to be. And then after a couple years of using that, we were like, hey, this in this Chemex doesn't make enough coffee to like serve guests or anything. So we went back to a coffee pot, but like a really kitschy one that like grinds the beans and then like makes the whole, vat of coffee. And then so like, well, that was gone. And then I just remembered, so when I was first, getting into yoga and like understanding mindfulness, somebody talked about a coffee cup meditation. mean, like when you have your coffee or your tea or whatever it is, that you can just sit and like feel the warmth, notice the aroma, like all of the sort of grounding present moment aspects of your morning beverage. And I did it almost unconsciously.
Hmm.
And then I just remembered that, when I don't do the things that I know that are valuable, there's still glimpses and moments that I can pull in that sort of give me that same experience. So yeah, those things, like this fills my cup too, like getting a chance to be with you for this hour or 45 minutes or however long it is, fills my cup. And coffee fills my cup. And in the moment when I'm too busy or too whatever, too forgetful, if I'm being honest, to take and too undisciplined actually to take the time to carve out to meditate, is there's always a way to access the same benefits of a full-blown sitting meditation, but just in a moment.
It's awesome, man.
No.
I by the way, I love the pour over coffee.
Oh yeah.
I love it. We had a similar situation because we had two of the little ones for each of us,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple stories about it. But then when we started having more guests and we needed more, we ended up buying a big one of those.
Okay, got it.
So it's like
How big though? How big is it?
I don't know, it's 3 times as big as the other ones, 4 times.
Okay, so you can feed. So with because we have a smaller one, and then we got a bigger one, but it was still only good enough for two of us.
Gotcha. I think
So
it
I'm
covered.
curious. I haven't seen like a big one. You know what I mean?
It was this big,
No,
man. This you had to be there to see it.
you
It was
like
this big.
you could get inside of it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know what? I mean, maybe to do some fact checking on that and see how big it really is. But that's how
Right.
we slowly move forward. But
Hey, look, I
anyway,
love it.
the other story about it, and then I'll get kind of back to the point where you're talking
Mhm.
about, but is when we first moved to Idaho, Dean and Judy, Katie's parents, they were slowly making the trip up here because they were going to move up as well. And then so they ended up living with us for, I think, 2 months, something like that.
Mhm.
And I remember Dean, he's 85. And I remember him doing his pour over, and his pour over, he was so specific, like I would put my coffee in there in the filter, and then I just like try and fill it to the rim, and then I'd do something else, and then I'd come look and see if it needed more, and then I'd pour more
Mhm.
in there, and then I'd take off, and I'd come back, trying to get it done as quickly as possible.
Right.
But Dean, dude, he's like puts the coffee in there, and then he takes it, and he's like, like taking forever. So I always, first of all, I had to get up earliest, because if I didn't, it would take me forever to get my coffee, because Dean took his sweet time pouring that coffee. But
Got
secondly,
it.
I thought, similar to what you're saying, like, wow, it's pretty amazing that he's just taking his time doing that. And he swears that it gives a better flavor too.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that, I mean, there's probably some science behind it, talking about like saturation and temperature of the water and how long it sits on the ground beans, and then also the grind that you have. I'm sure there's a billion things that go in. If you're a barista, comment below on what, on what's going on with the science of slow versus as fast as possible coffee making and pour over. I'd love to know the answer, but there probably is, to his point. And I mean, I don't know. When you're proud of something, how much better it is,
Mm.
whether it's actually better or not, right? If you're proud of it. So if you're like, I'm taking my time and making this coffee so expertly and diligently, which by the way is how I made it when I was doing pour over. I used it like I was like expertly and carefully pouring. And then you're like, hey, I'm proud. I took the time. I wasn't rushed. And then so the coffee tastes better. Whether it's true or not doesn't change your experience, I would imagine.
Dude, 1,000% agree with you on that. It's almost like when I go skiing with the boys, if I
Mm-hmm.
take the time the night before and I put their equipment all in the back, up on top, I check to make sure I've got everything.
Mm-hmm.
Things are covered. When I wake up the next morning and the boys are up and they're getting fed they and myself are way more excited to go skiing because I don't have all
Yeah.
these things in the back of my mind that I need to get done. Like I did the preparation, I'm proud of it, I'm ready. And it just seems in general the whole experience goes that much better. It's like I feel like it's similar to anything in life. Pouring your coffee is a metaphor for life, dude.
Amen, brother. Look at that. That was deep.
That's deep. Mindful dudes right here.
Mindful dudes in the moment.
Yeah.
Do you have any I was curious about it because I feel like that sort of coffee cup meditation it's for lack of a better word, like a hack, right? Like so
Mm.
it's like a hack. Do you have any if you're not on your game and you're not the night before prepared for skiing, if you're not like and you notice that something's awry, do you have any hacks that you do to keep yourself like get yourself centered, get yourself grounded?
You know, I don't know, maybe something will come out of this. I noticed this morning when I went to drop Owen off for school,
Mm,
I didn't have my phone. I was just present with those boys and driving, and it was just like the beautiful time of morning. And I had a few moments where I was like, wow, this is great. Life is good. It's all good. And I was just
mm,
present and enjoying it. And what comes from me in saying that is the importance of realizing when to put things down or away. Like
mm.
when I've been on my phone, like scrolling through reels. Have you ever had that where you're like scrolling, you're like, oh, watching, then you're like, oh my God, I should get off of here. But you just keep going. It's like it's kind of pulled you in, you're addicted
100%.
to it. It's
Yeah.
almost like you have to notice, you have to pay attention. I have to pay attention to my gut. Like, wait
Hmm.
a second, I need to go to bed. Wait a second, I need to listen here
Hmm.
and, put my phone away or stop doing what I'm doing and get grounded so that I can actually hear or see. There's a deeper level of listening that occurs in those moments when I'm able to disrupt that pattern. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying by that?
I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. You talk about like doom scrolling too. I mean, that's what I call it. I think
That's
it's a
good.
common catchphrase today. But there, I used to follow that, or I still do follow this one channel. I forgot what it's called. Maybe I'll go dig into it. But they make reels, and their reels are like, "What are you doing? Get off your phone."
Hmm.
It's just like, and he has some like beautiful scenery and like some music behind it. Like it's well curated, well made content. It's like, life is out there. Like, what are you doing on your phone? Like, stop it, put the phone down, whatever. And I used to see that and I used to enjoy seeing their content. And I think they got shadow banned because people were putting their phone. I don't see their content at all anymore. It
Interesting.
does not come up on my scroll, like in my algorithm. And I would do all the things to like I would like it. All of the things when that reel would come up, I'd make sure to like it. I'd comment to keep it in my algorithm,
Yeah.
and it's not there anymore. So it's sort of like there's a force somewhere that wants you distracted, and sort of knowing that those are like my little hacks. It's sort of like when I fall victim to the doom scrolling, I'm like, what am I doing? Like this isn't helping me. And somebody that doesn't have my best interest in mind, somebody, something, some energy, wants me to stay doing this. That's why they're feeding it to me this way. And while I really enjoy it, makes me laugh. I have my algorithm is terrible. I have the most inappropriate things to come through just because my humor happens to skew that way. And I'm like what am I doing? And then it reminds me to put my phone down. It's almost like when I'm enjoying it the most, I'm like, I have to kind of put this thing away.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean,
Hmm.
I get that with social media easy. And then even with, I go back to skiing because it's the end of ski season,
Hmm.
you know, and there's a part of me that thinks, oh my gosh, I would want to get my kids up there and ski a couple more times, and I think that's a
Yeah.
good thing. But at the same time, and what's happening in reality is that
Hmm.
there's soccer practice now Tuesday and Wednesday night for both boys, and then games Thursday and Friday. Got a little baby at home, running a business. Podcast is kicked off for another season. There's
Yeah.
a shitload of things going on. And so in reality, and what my gut is telling me is take the ski racks off the car, return the ski boots, move
Right.
forward. But I'm like trying, I'm like trying to push it, force it. And it's like, that's not going to make it better for anybody. You know what I mean? I'm not really listening in that sense, because I know intuitively what I need to do to make that family healthy and happy, to keep
Right.
me healthy and happy, that kind of a thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
So
do. It's like, and I'm noticing the same thing too. Like my wife, for the first time, used this phrase, this sort of code word that I've heard a million times before, but it like hit me because it was true. She's like, I'm okay being a golf widow because the golf, like my body's finally feeling good enough to like really pick up the clubs again and play.
yeah,
And so I had a tournament yesterday. My daughter on Saturday we had a dad-daughter tournament, and I'm just been playing a lot. Like I think I played 5 days last week
good for
out
you,
of
man.
7,
Wow.
and it just got me sort of like it's almost like the doom scrolling. But then in the back of my head, well, this is really good for me. Like this is good. It's good that I can move my body more freely. It's good that I can pick up this game that I love. It's good and it's healthy, and it is. And there's such a thing as too much of a good thing. And so I sort of had to temper that. And now I'll probably take this whole week off, plus, because, well, now I have to catch up on all the things I postponed or procrastinated doing when I was like, well, the weather's great. I should get out and play again right now because I have this tournament coming up, etc.
Yeah,
So,
got you. Well, and you'll have to like refocus on your wife and your family and that kind of thing. Life's kind of
exactly.
like that though, right? It goes in spurts. Like I get busy
Mm-hmm.
doing one thing for a long time, and then I have to kind of rein it back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. I get that, man. Finding it seems like it always comes back down to a little bit of balance, Because I mean, we started
Exactly.
the show, we're talking about how important it is to do the things and to see
Yeah.
the people that are important for you. So there's a balance. There's got to be a balance between the doing the things that you love. Well, I mean, we've got a lot of things that we love, so we got to find balance between all the things that we love and all the things that we do, and we got to be able to do it in an efficient way, in a way that makes sense and that nurtures our soul. Because if you eliminate those things, like if you just stop golfing because you want
Yeah.
to be with your wife, then you're next thing you know, she's going to be like, you need to go golfing.
She said that. She said it before.
Get away from me.
Don't you need to go play golf or something?
Yeah,
That's how I know I'm being annoying.
right. Well, yeah, and golf is good for you. And your wife says you need to
Yeah.
go to golf, or like, your yoga's working
Yeah.
for you when your spouse is
Mm.
like, you need to go to yoga.
Yeah, exactly. And not to be cliche about it, but golf is one of the most mindful activities. I don't look at my phone
Right.
when I play golf. I am intently focused. And like I've said this many times before when I used to work in golf, and it was like, well, like why golf? I'm like, golf in a way similar to yoga really saved my life. And that sounds like such a big claim, but it is true. So it's mindfulness that saved my life, like being present, being grateful in this moment, despite everything that happened, um, trauma, the whole list of traumas, as far back as you want to go to more current stuff with colon cancer and all that. It's like this activity makes me so present to the experience of being alive right now and like what I need to do right now to achieve the result that I want. And whether that's in a yoga pose or whether that's trying to hit a particular shot onto the green or to get out of trouble or whatever it is on the golf course, just that those moments of presence in the what's happening right now really cuts through all the BS of like what I don't need to bring with me from all of the past problems and issues and challenges that I had. So it's such a great um, metaphor, really, for taking the time to do the things that are important to you, that are going to make you a better person. And back to the first point, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. And like to your point, Nick, it's balance, right? Just finding the right spot. And I guess what I'm grateful for right now in thinking of this, in real time, is that I think because of the meditation and mindfulness practices that I become aware that this is not in balance. And then so I have an opportunity to bring it back into balance and keep it there as long as possible until I go, a different way too long. And I think, yes, that's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that we can really discover balance is by coming out of balance,
Mm-hmm.
because that otherwise you wouldn't realize it. And
Amen.
I think too, like in the realm of relationships, man, it can be easy to get comfortable. Not in your
Yeah.
relationships and in anything, right? It can easy to get comfortable in our ways and the way that we're being and around people and the experience that we're creating. And like so I think about, talking about your wife and my
Mm-hmm.
wife and relationships in general. What I've found lately, the more that we're working and the more we're working at home and the more we have things going on, the less that I am deeply connected to my wife, because there's
Mm-hmm.
like I got a phone on me all the time. It's beeping. I'm picking it up. She's talking. I'm like checking my phone. I don't put it away. I finish, I have these weird, horrible they're not horrible, but I have these tendencies to work and try and
Mm-hmm.
multitask. And then that light and that mindfulness goes away and there's not as much presence and light in the relationships,
Yeah.
and if that's happening at home, it's happening everywhere. I'm aware that that's some place
Mm-hmm.
that like I'm working on. I have to put my tech away. I gotta I can be just as present as I can on the golf course or on my yoga
Mm-hmm.
mat or skiing, in my living room and my kitchen with my family and my kids. I can be just that present, and I know
Yeah.
that I can. And so I have to just be willing to do it, like to take action to do it. I think a lot of people maybe just aren't like willing or ready to take action to do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and so I'm trying to get the words right so I don't say it wrong. So like I'm hearing you talk and you're doing these great things because you're in the doing. In the doing is okay. So I'm doing all these things that I have to be present to my text messages and my tech because I'm doing these. I'm creating podcasts. I'm doing all the things that you're juggling right now as an entrepreneur and as a husband and as a parent, as a father, and as a man, right? Like needing to have the adventure of getting up on the mountain, whether it's hiking or skiing or whatever it is, like that quest for adventure is I know it's very present for me and I know it is for you. And then so you're being distracted from being present at home because you're being present to everything that you're doing, and doing is good, right? Like the act of just thinking about it and wishing you were doing it is obviously not as fruitful as doing the thing. Like Barron says, do the thing and you'll have the power. And it seems like such a weird thing to say, but it's like so true. Like do the thing, whatever the thing is that you need to do the thing and you'll have the power, the benefit, the reward of having done the thing, whatever it is. And sometimes those doings can be a distraction to the other things that you need to be doing for for that almighty balance that we're looking for. And so do you like because I'm saying as I'm saying it out loud, like that's how I give myself a pass. I let myself off the hook
Hmm.
by saying, well, but I'm doing what yeah, I'm distracted over here and I'm not accomplishing over here, but I am accomplishing this bucket. And then it tends to be, and I'm not saying this for you, but I'm saying it definitely for me, is I put a lot of my attention, especially recently, on like, well, golf is so good, right? It's so beneficial for me, brings me peace, it's focus. I'm in the doing, and I'm getting and I'm improving my game because I took some years off for health issues and stuff. And then so like, oh, that feels good, and so I'm like, no, it's fine to do, but I'm doing all these wonderful things and then maybe not doing the things that I probably should be doing and finding a better way to balance it all out.
Yeah, you give yourself a pass because, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I give myself a pass. I don't know about you. Curious.
Mm.
I beat myself up, man. I get hard on
I
myself, and I don't. Maybe I give myself a pass, but then it's like a half-hearted pass. or it's like kind of cover up for the fact that I feel like bad that I'm not doing what I know that I should be doing.
Mhm. Well, it's a delayed response. So when I'm doing the thing, the pass I give myself feels right.
Mm.
And I'm totally good on the pass I just gave myself. And then you're at home and you're wrapping up and it's like, okay, well, I need to sleep. It's, time for bed and winding down. And that's when it's like, I did, as I'm sort of like analyzing the use of my time that day, I'm like, I didn't do the thing. Like, so I'll give you an example. In my upstairs bathroom, like this house was built in like 1986, and the ventilation in the bathroom isn't awesome. And I'm not blaming my wife for this, but she takes incredibly steam. What's up with women? Women, comment please. Why do you all take molten skin sloughing lava showers? I don't understand it, but and so with all that heat and steam generated on the ceiling of our bathroom, these little tiny little mold things would like come. And then my wife was like, I don't want these here. I'm like, yes, you're right. We need to. So I'm like full hazmat suit, like respirator thing, and I'm sanding the whole like ceiling down. And then it's like creating like some uneven spots. So then I'm replastering those spots. And so like I did a lot of work on day one, and then I had to let the stuff dry before I can resand it and do all this stuff. So basically recreating the ceiling in my bathroom, taking everything off, like taking a whole surface off and like kind of redoing it.
Damn.
And but I'm like, well, I'm at a stopping point because this has to dry, so like I can go play golf, right? Like, so it's sort of like I do like a little bit of something I should do, and then I'm like, oh well, hey, I'm at a stopping point. Let me wash this, dust off and just go run outside and play.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're like day 4, and I've like sort of forgotten the urgency of it. There's literally a drop cloth in my bathroom. Now it's all folded up so my wife can navigate to the shower and back, creating more mold because I still have a couple more spots to finish, and then I have to paint.
Huh.
Right. So, but I had some tournaments to get to, Nick. It was very important to
Yeah,
get those
totally.
done.
Well, and I mean, there's some, I think what you're talking to now, I can very much relate to as well, is the importance of finishing one thing before moving on to another.
Ding, ding, ding.
I mean, damn. Yeah. My whole life's like that. If I look in this room that you can't see on the camera, it's like there's a bunch of shit that I thought I was going to get done or I was supposed to get done that's kind of half done.
Yeah, same, same. And then also from parenting, like
Oh,
I don't mean to go too far off topic, but I look down here and there's a book. There's my daughter's chapter book for reading. She's second grade doing chapter books, and then all this air clay that you can like mold and then it dries, sort
huh.
of hardens as like foam that she was supposed to put away yesterday. It's still right here. We didn't say anything to her. Like we just let it get. It's like almost like we ignored not following through with any sort of consequence or any sort of reminder about teaching her to do the things to completion, one thing at a time. And so it's almost like, man, am I modeling bad behavior?
Mm,
And the answer is, yeah,
mm.
I am. And so it's hard to correct over here with my daughter if I don't have it correct here with me.
Well, dude, I am in admiration for the fact that you'll admit that it has something to do with you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I
it's not fun to say because it
right.
stings a little. You're like,
Yeah.
oh man, oh, it's true. But it is true.
Yeah. It's one of the
Yeah.
things I love about Katie, man. She shoots it straight. The other night I was out doing yoga in the living room. I was working with one of our teachers in the mentor
Okay.
program. And then it was after everybody had gone to bed, and I went to bed. And the next morning, Katie came out and she's like, "Are these your socks right here on the ground?" I was like, "Yeah, I was doing yoga there last night. I just took them off, threw them on the ground." She's like, "No wonder your kids leave their socks everywhere." Oh my gosh. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
next thing you know, I'm like finding my socks everywhere. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
Mm.
Took me a little longer to admit it though than I'm talking about here. I mean, it was like over a 2-day period where I was like, I don't know if that has anything to do with me and dumping my socks on the ground. I can't. These kids
Right,
are
of
their
course
own
not.
animal. They don't watch what I'm doing, you know? Then she sings that. Sometimes I do stuff like that, and she sings that country song that's like, "They're watching you, you're my buckaroo." You know that song?
Oh
Where
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah, I do.
everything you do, your
I
kids
do.
do.
I
Like,
just speaking of songs in the car, so I was just in a particularly good mood, probably because I've been playing a lot of golf. I was in a particularly good mood,
you should keep
just
doing that, dude.
driving in the car,
Yeah.
and Catherine, my youngest, she wants a hamster, and
Okay.
we're like, absolutely not. Like, we're not getting a hamster. We have 3 cats, a dog, you know, chickens. Like, we're not getting. They stink. Hamsters stink. And you're gonna clean their cage, and like, I don't think you're gonna keep up with it because I don't want to. I don't want to do it. Your mom doesn't want to do it. And she was all, she was just in the process of doing the whole daughter thing expertly about the sort of guilt and like, too bad I can't have it, like the whole thing. And I was like, actually, so I'm driving, so I'm very hands free when I drive, just because my auto insurance, if I touch my phone, it dings me and I have to pay more for my insurance. It's like a sort of intentionally.
Oh,
Well, it's
nice.
not pay more. If I don't touch my phone and I don't harsh brake and I don't whatever any other hands, no talking on the phone while you're driving. If I do those things, I get a big discount on my car insurance. And then so everything's hands free. So we're driving. I was like, Catherine, they wrote a song about what's happening right now. And I was like, hey Siri, play "You Can't Always Get What You Want," the Stones. And she just sat in the back, and I'm like, you can't always get what you want.
I think Siri's
Oh,
talking to you
Siri's
now.
she's
But if you try sometimes, you just might find you
you
get
get
what
what
you
you need.
need. Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Isn't that the case,
Yeah.
man? Oh my gosh, how funny. Yeah, the Rolling Stones, dude, they're ahead of their time.
Oh yeah.
They're my dad's
Exactly.
favorite band. I love them. We saw them in Albuquerque one time, went and watched them play.
Oh, I've never seen him live.
That was pretty cool. I remember that. Well, hey, dude, as a little synopsis of all the things that we've gone through and on this podcast show today, I mean, there's been a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the big takeaways we want to leave our listeners with?
Well, I'd say this is be hard on yourself, but not too hard on yourself. And that's what's coming up for me right now is that thinking about it. It's sort of like discovering the balance uh, in ways where you don't, yeah, beat like you were talking about. Yeah, I beat myself up. You beat yourself up, but not too hard, just enough to bring you back to center, right? And whether it's play or work, family or friendships, whatever that is, it's like when you notice you're too far one way, just do whatever it takes to bring it back to center. If you have to beat yourself up a little bit, okay, fine, but don't stay in that space. Just use it as we meander through this incredibly challenging thing called life,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
but
Good.
also challenging but amazing thing.
Certainly, dude.
What about
I
you?
uh, I'm with you,
What do you
man.
got?
Well, I agree with that, and I appreciate you saying that because I need the reminder to not be too hard on myself and to carry that forward. There's sometimes days or weeks on end when I'm hard on myself, and so just like a reminder that it's an opportunity to come back to balance and to start again. And
Mm-hmm.
for all of you that are out there that are listening that understand what Dan and I are talking about, and I know all of you do, just like
Mm-hmm.
remember that what Dan talked about earlier, you can get present by drinking your cup of coffee. You can get present by playing a song on the radio to, shift up the mood. You can get present and aware right now through action. Do the thing and you have the power. Baron Baptiste, do the thing. And so if you ever feel like you're stuck or not really doing life or living life the way that you want to, doing the things you want to do with the people that you love and the way that you want to do it in a present way, that you have the ability, you have the power to make a shift right now. You can do that. Drop the phone, put it away, stop doom scrolling. Um, you know, stop texting back right away and pay attention to the people that are right in front of you
Mm-hmm.
Katie told me that 75% of the time that we get to spend with our kids over their entire life occurs between the ages of when they're born and 12 years old. So those moments, like if you don't feel like you have time to get a text message back, you will. You have time to get a text message back. Pay attention to those things that are right in front of you right now, because that's all we got. That's what's coming up for me, man.
Amen, brother. I appreciate that. It hits though, it hits. And if the shoe fits, wear it, right? And I definitely got that from everything you just said, and just from this conversation, right? It's what's really great about these. It's great to sort of like in real time bring forward all of the things that are happening and just have a moment to be real with everything that we discover, even when you know it already, when you sort of rediscover it and bring it back to the surface, it's like, okay, I should probably do something about it and be a little more mindful and a little more present and a little more disciplined. And I say that because that's where I fall off. Like, it's with a near full career in the military, where discipline is like every sort of, it's kind of built in. And then since I've not had to do that anymore, it's sort of like the discipline practices in my life has sort of like taken a back seat, and I've been more free and more just like go with the flow. And what I'm finding again is there's a lot more freedom in disciplined action,
Totally.
right? Like when you can have the discipline in your daily routines, your routines of life, and still keep the quest for balance, is like then that creates an opportunity for real freedom, because you don't have the monkey on your back of all the things that I might have forgot to do, or whatever that is. And so it's a great reminder for me to remember to put those practices back in.
Big time, dude. Yeah, I've found that I'm using my calendar a whole lot more the busier that I am, and it's helping me
Mm-hmm.
designate specific time to be with my family, and just let go of all that other stuff because it's organized. It's not in the back of my mind. Thanks for saying that, dude. Mindful dude. Hey, everybody, thanks for checking out this show. It's a special show that Dan and I are committed to creating every other week for you on Play Hard and Love Big Radio. So if you want to follow us, go to Play Hard and Love Big Radio and look for the Mindful Dude episodes. They are really getting popular. I can see from the Instagram page, more and more people are following and are excited about it. And the reason being is because we're just shooting it straight, real, not off script. And I'm stoked about the time that I get to spend with you, Dan. I appreciate it, man.
Likewise, brother. Always good to see you. And the product in your hair. I love
It's
it.
amazing that you can see the product in my hair
Well, I
from
can't see
the
the
internet.
product. I can just tell there's product to make it behave in that way. And only because it's like, I have a little FOMO.
Well, you should see the mold growing on my ceiling, because I like those hot, steamy volcano showers too, which I bet some other dudes out there do, like
Oh
your
man, I thought
lady.
that was exclusively a chick thing. Sorry.
Well, the melt.
Lady, chick. I don't mean to be dismissive by saying chick. I mean the other gender, the females.
Yeah, I got you.
What is they? Hey, so wait, I have a real question.
Yeah,
Mindful dudes. What is man, woman, boy, girl, dude? It's not dudette. Don't tell me it's dudette.
that's where my
Babes,
mind went first. But babe,
dudes and babes,
maybe
bros and
let's not go there.
no, no. I went and then I was like, that's not a good one. No, like
Maybe that's a question for our viewers, because we are going to have
yeah. What
some
is it?
mindful ladies. We're going to have some mindful
Ladies
ladies
and
on this show
gentlemen,
with us.
though. Like,
Yeah.
what is the, yeah,
What's the
what's the,
adverse of dudes? Come on, put it in the comments. Let us know. We want to
I
know.
feel like babes.
Babes is cool. Mindful
I
babes.
like it.
We got to get some mindful babes on this show, man.
Heck yeah, we do.
I love it. Well, that'll make it happen really quick. All right, y'all. Hey, don't
Okay.
forget to follow us. Leave comments, leave reviews. That helps our show. Share with your friends, and they're going to love it too. Dan, any parting words before we end this show today?
Man, I just want everybody to know that they're loved and they're good enough, and that they are created divinely to have a purpose. And if they're not feeling it, know it's there. Just keep on searching.
Yep. And if you need somebody to help you stay in line. You can always rely on us. We're here to hold you accountable to being mindful and awesome and living the life that you want to live. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Dan. You're amazing, brother.
You too, brother.
See ya.
See ya.
See you later.
Alligator.